It begins with a whisper, not a shout. A faint hum of neon tubes warming to life. The scent of grilled yakitori drifting through a narrow alleyway. The click of polished shoes on wet pavement. Somewhere in the distance, a train rattles past. A sound so woven into the fabric of this country that even the locals stop hearing it. But you, stepping into Japan for the first time, notice everything. And you feel it. The sensation that you've walked into a place where the rules of the world have been rewritten. Japan in 2025 is a paradox. A nation with one of the lowest crime rates on earth, yet home to some of the most notorious nightlife districts anywhere. A place where ancient shrines and towering skyscrapers share the same skyline. Where respect is currency, but desires, even taboo ones, have entire industries built around them. Some call it the most sinful country in the world. Others call it the safest. The truth, like most things here, lies somewhere in between. From the moment you arrive, you're struck by the contrasts. Tokyo's Shibuya crossing at rush hour feels like standing in the bloodstream of a living organism. Thousands of people flowing in all directions, every light flashing, every billboard screaming for attention. And yet, in the middle of this chaos, no one bumps into you. Everyone moves with silent precision, like dancers in an unspoken performance. This precision is the surface. Underneath is something else. Something unspoken. Japan's rules are strict, but its escapes are endless. The country has perfected the art of the release valve. Places where the pressures of conformity, politeness, and hard work are let out in controlled bursts. From pachinko parlors clattering with silver balls to hostess clubs, where smiles are part of the service, to karaoke boxes where executives sing power ballads until sunrise. Here, indulgence isn't rebellion. It's part of the system. The question is, why? How did a country famous for discipline and order become equally famous for pleasures that many cultures hide in shadows? To understand, you have to go deeper, past the obvious, into the rhythm of daily life. Take the salaryman, the white-collar backbone of Japan's economy. In 2025, they still wear the same dark suits, carry the same black briefcases, and still work hours that would break most people. The culture of overwork, or karoshi, death from overwork, is a real fear. But when the day ends, many don't go home. They drift into izakaya pubs, order rounds of beer, maybe sake, and stay out until the first morning train. These nights are not just for fun, they're sanctioned decompression. No one judges. Your boss might even be with you, tie loosened, face flushed from shoku. And then there's Kabukicho, Tokyo's entertainment district. Neon stacked on neon, flashing promises in kanji and katakana. Love hotels with themed rooms, jungle, spaceship, Victorian palace. Hostess and host clubs where you pay for conversation, for laughter, for the illusion of intimacy. Here, Japan's politeness shifts into something else. A performance of attention so complete, it feels like romance, even if it's measured by the hour. Outsiders often label these things as sin, but in Japan, it's not moral failure, it's compartmentalization. Public life is rigid, private indulgence is allowed, as long as it's kept in its lane. The country's low crime rate proves the lanes are respected. What happens in the pleasure districts stays there. Yet Japan's sin isn't only about nightlife. There's the gaming culture, not just video games, but pachinko, the nation's semi-legal obsession. Technically, gambling for cash is illegal, but pachinko skirts the law through a clever loophole. You win prizes, trade them at a separate location, and somehow those prizes turn into money. In 2025, pachinko remains a billion-dollar industry, glowing in every town from Tokyo to rural backwaters. But for every glowing arcade or ramen shop packed at midnight, there's another Japan, quieter, colder, fading. Rural villages where the population is mostly elderly, where houses sit empty, where the nearest store might be miles away. This side of Japan feels untouched by the so-called sin of the cities. Yet it has its own secrets: isolation, loneliness, and a slow decline as young people leave for urban life. Still, travel between these worlds is effortless. One moment you're in the ancient capital of Kyoto, walking under the red gates of Fushimi Inari Shrine, fox statues watching from the moss. The next, you're in Osaka's Dotonbori district, staring up at a massive animatronic crab waving its claws over a restaurant entrance. Japan doesn't just hold contradictions, it thrives on them. And it's here, in this tension between order and indulgence, that Japan's identity in 2025 truly lives. It's why travelers can spend weeks here and still feel they barely scratched the surface. It's why sing in Japan doesn't feel dangerous, it feels choreographed. And why, once you've tasted it, you might find yourself planning your return before you've even left. The deeper you go, the more you realize that Japan's so-called sins are not flaws in the system. They are the system's counterbalance. The country runs on discipline, but human beings are not machines. And so, for every rigid custom, there is a corresponding outlet. Take the vending machines. In most countries, they sell snacks or drinks. In Japan, they sell nearly everything, from hot cans of coffee in winter to bouquets of flowers, fresh eggs, surgical masks, umbrellas, even full meals. But they also sell more unusual items: adult magazines, collectible toys, and in certain hidden corners, products that would make a tourist blush. And no one bats an eye. The machine is anonymous, the transaction discreet. It's the perfect Japanese invention, desire fulfilled without breaking social harmony. In Shinjuku, you find Golden Gai, a labyrinth of tiny bars, each seating maybe 5 or 6 people. Every bar has its own theme: jazz, punk rock, Showa-era nostalgia. Some welcome foreigners, others are for locals only. Step inside and you might find yourself drinking with a novelist, a salaryman, and a drag performer all crammed shoulder to shoulder. Golden Gai is not polished. The buildings are old, the alleys narrow, the signs glowing like fireflies. But it's here, in these tiny rooms, that the walls between strangers dissolve fastest. Then there's Akihabara, the electric town. In the daylight, it's an otaku paradise, packed with electronic stores, anime merchandise, and maid cafes where waitresses in frilly costumes greet you with rehearsed sweetness. At night, Akihabara shifts. Behind certain doors are themed bars for every niche fantasy you can imagine. Some wholesome, some not. In 2025, the line between pop culture and adult entertainment here is thinner than ever. Travel further south to Fukuoka, and you'll find yatai food stalls lining the river. Open-air kitchens serving ramen, grilled skewers, and ode to clusters of people on folding stools. The air smells like broth and charcoal, and the beer flows freely. It's here you feel Japan's indulgence in its warmest form. Food is comfort, drink is camaraderie. Yet indulgence in Japan is not only physical, it's also about escape from reality. Manga cafes, or manga kissa, offer private booths with internet access, reclining chairs, and shelves upon shelves of comic books. Many people come for an hour or two. Some, especially those between jobs or homes, stay for days. They shower in the building, sleep in the booth, live in this liminal space between public and private. There's also the love hotel industry, an entire architectural category devoted to short-term stays. Love hotels are not seedy motels. Many are themed fantasy suites with whirlpool baths, karaoke systems, mood lighting, and elaborate decor. They cater to couples seeking privacy in a culture where most young adults live with family until marriage. The rooms are rented by the hour or for the night. Payment is discreet, and the experience is curated for both comfort and secrecy. And yet, for all this openness, Japan's public morality remains conservative. Public displays of affection are rare. You won't see couples kissing on the street. The same person who might visit a love hotel on Saturday night will bow politely to their boss on Monday morning without a trace of that other life showing. Some of Japan's most fascinating contradictions are found in its festivals. Take Katamari Matsuri in Kawasaki, a festival of the steel phallus, where giant pink and black phallus statues are paraded through the streets. Candies are shaped like genitalia, and foreign tourists laugh nervously, while locals celebrate with sincerity. The festival's origins are rooted in Shinto fertility traditions, but in modern times, it's also a fundraiser for HIV research. It's at once sacred, humorous, and unabashedly explicit, a perfect microcosm of Japan's ability to mix the ancient, the playful, and the taboo. Even in its traditional arts, Japan weaves sensuality into formality. The tea ceremony, with its precise movements, is deeply sensual in its attention to detail. The way a kimono is wrapped, the way incense curls in the air, the way a fan is opened, all are performances that heighten awareness of the moment, of the senses, of presence. And then there's the nightlife that never makes the travel brochures. Basement bars in Roppongi, where foreign expats and locals mingle over whiskey. Tiny snack bars run by middle-aged women who know all their customers by name and pour drinks with a side of motherly advice. Shisha lounges where the smoke is sweet, the lights are low, and the music is slow. For a traveler, Japan in 2025 can feel like an endless maze of discoveries. But for locals, these indulgences are woven into the rhythm of life. They're not shocking. They're simply there, as normal as the morning train, the bento lunch, the evening bath. And this is the key to understanding why some call Japan sinful, while others see it as the epitome of safety and order. In most places, sin is rebellion. In Japan, it's ritual. The rules are not broken. They are suspended in designated spaces at designated times. It's a dance between the seen and the unseen, the acceptable and the forbiddens. And everyone knows the steps. The morning after a night of indulgence in Japan rarely feels like rebellion. You walk through spotless streets, past school children in neatly pressed uniforms, past shopkeepers sweeping their doorways. The neon that burned bright a few hours earlier is now just a pale skeleton in the daylight. The city resets. It's as if the excess never happened, yet it's stored somewhere, like a secret chapter in the country's daily story. For visitors, Japan's blend of safety and temptation is intoxicating. You can walk through a red light district at midnight without fear of being robbed. You can drink until 3 a.m. and still find a train or taxi to take you home. The chaos is contained. The indulgence is managed. There's freedom, but it's freedom on rails. In Tokyo's Kabukicho, the largest red light district in the country, you can see this system at its peak. Host clubs, hostess bars, massage parlors, themed cafes, each catering to a different fantasy. Outside, hawkers beckon, neon signs flash, music spills from doorways. But step back a few streets, and it's quiet again. No drunken fights, no smashed bottles. The district lives and breathes in its own boundaries. Some outsiders mistake this for hypocrisy. How can a country be so strict in some areas and so permissive in others? But in Japan, these spaces are not contradictions. They are safety valves. Without them, the pressure of social conformity might break the system. With them, the balance holds. Even the country's approach to alcohol shows this. Japan has no laws against public drinking. You can buy a beer at a convenience store and drink it in a park. And yet, drunken violence is rare. People drink, they laugh loudly. Sometimes they sleep it off on a train bench, but they rarely cross certain invisible lines. Then there's the culture of enkai, company drinking parties. These are semi-official events where hierarchies loosen. The boss might sing karaoke off-key, and employees confess things they'd never say in the office. The next morning, it's back to business as usual. What's said and done at the Enkai stays there. This social contract, knowing when to bend the rules and when to follow them to the letter, is part of what keeps Japan's unique rhythm alive. And in 2025, that rhythm is evolving. The pandemic years left their mark. International tourism has returned in full force, bringing both curiosity and cultural friction. Younger Japanese are questioning some of the old norms, experimenting with more open relationships, remote work lifestyles, and global influences. But even as the edges change, the core dance between order and indulgence remains. For travelers seeking the most sinful country, Japan offers something unexpected. You won't find chaos spilling into the streets or crime lurking in the shadows. You'll find desire packaged neatly, fantasies delivered with precision, escape hidden in plain sight. It's a place where you can step into another world for an hour, a night, or a week, and then step back out as if nothing happened. The truth is, Japan's so-called sins are not flaws. They are mirrors. They reflect the universal human need for release, for pleasure, for escape. And they show how a society can embrace these needs without tearing itself apart. You leave Japan not with a sense of having witnessed something dirty or dangerous, but with the awareness that indulgence, when managed with intention, can be part of a culture's grace. And maybe, just maybe, that's the most mind-blowing fact of all. Because here, in the most sinful country, sin isn't chaos. It's art.